Altcoins are pumping again, but over the next few days, Trump will be pumping these few specific altcoins, and you're going to want to be on board. We're going to look at Trump's ties to these coins and where they could possibly go. This is your Altcoin Buzz News. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you know when we drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, this is not financial advice. We wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces, Tuesday to Friday at 10 a.m. EST, link down below. Alright, good morning guys. So alts and Bitcoin are starting to have a slight comeback today. We said on Monday that we were hoping something like this would happen where we break down below the range, but then we quickly reclaim it. And it kind of looks like we're starting to do that today. We're going to have to see what happens at New York Open. This could just be an underside retest and we reject even further. But as it is right now, it actually looks decent, like we could come back up and reclaim this and then head back towards at least the mid-range here towards 116,000. So hopeful on that today. We're going to have to see what happens, but it's not looking terrible just yet. We also have Lark Davis saying, has Bitcoin at top for the cycle? Here's why I think it is not. The MVRVZ score is one of the best tools to spot Bitcoin cycle tops. It measures how far the market price has deviated from on-chain cost basis. Historically, cycle tops usually form when the score is above 6.5, and right now, we're only at 2.5. Additionally, the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator also suggests Bitcoin has not topped yet. So we can see here the MVRVZ score, and these are the cycle tops. We have 2018, we have 2021, and we are currently just around here. So we still have a little room to go before we hit one of these kind of, euphoric peaks that Bitcoin usually ends on. We also have the Bitcoin Pi cycle top indicator here, and we are not quite there yet. You can see here, this is 2021 when the yellow crosses and gets back above the green. We aren't there just yet, but we are getting close. Not to say, we're still early. This is still late in the cycle, but it's not the top just yet. And with Coinbear saying Bitcoin getting a Chinese push. Bloomberg's Jamie Coots notes that Bitcoin is moving in sync with China's CSI 300 index again. Historically, both have peaked at the same time, showing how global liquidity conditions drive markets. So this is the Chinese CSI indicator, the Shanghai Shenzhen CSI 300 index, which is closely related basically to global monetary policy as well. China has a huge stock market as well, and so these things tend to follow in tandem as well. Then we have Cointelegraph saying whale activity signals crypto rebound as Bitcoin and ETH stakeholder numbers continue to grow, with 13 more 1K plus Bitcoin wallets and 48 more 10K plus ETH wallets added in August alone. So whales are loading up, even though we had that one whale which basically sold off and caused this huge price dump. Other whales are loading up from his sells. Then we have the former White House crypto director, Bo Hines, saying he's very confident a Bitcoin Reserve Act will be signed this year.
Like the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve has been signed into law through executive order. There's some infrastructure that's required in order to get things set up properly. And so I'm still very confident that the US government is going to be keenly interested on moving expeditiously on budget neutral ways to accumulate. So I'd tell people just to, keep their eyes and ears open for that news that eventually I'm sure will come. But Patrick's working on that, as I can imagine. The last time that we've been truly able to speak on digital asset issues was the day before I left. But I'm very confident in his abilities to perform and deliver for the industry. And look, the president obviously has been a steadfast leader in the space. He's made it vehemently clear that this is a major priority for him. And that includes the SBR. And then we also have the Digital Assets National Stockpile as well, which I think was really just our attempt to give credence to the other ecosystems and what's being built over there. We want to welcome innovation here in the US, and we want to make sure those other ecosystems continue to thrive and grow.
And then we have the US Department of Commerce will start publishing economic data on the blockchain.
Two more things. The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
It's so crazy how far we've come in just the past year. Now we have Ondo Finance saying the next evolution of markets is almost here. Real world assets, real world liquidity coming on chain on September 3rd, 2025. So you can see here all these stocks are coming on chain in September, so basically a week from now. We also have Ondo coiling up for the big move. The token has been moving within this wedge channel in a very bullish structure. Each macro high has been higher than the one printed before. Following these returns, we could see a wave 1 plus 240%, wave 2 plus 270, and wave 3 plus 350. Next macro upside target, $3.10 per Ondo. So this is what he's looking at. These are different cycles, or different waves we've had, different pushes. And so 240, 270, and he's saying 350 could be the last wave here going towards $3.10-ish. We are currently just under $1 at 95 cents, so that would be a very big push. But usually, even though we are coming towards the end of the cycle, usually the big pushes happen at the end. So 80% of the gains or losses happen in the last 20% of the cycle. It's that 80-20, kind of rule. So we are seeing, we will probably see that very soon. I think going in the next couple of months, we'll see those huge returns and then, sharp declines afterwards. Then we also have Rendoshi saying, two of the main reasons I've been waiting for Ondo Global Markets tokenized equity rather than buying competitor offerings. One is full liquidity, and two is institutional grade investor protection. So we not only have full liquidity, Ondo Global Market assets are designed to have the same liquidity as the underlying security, allowing for immediate low slippage buying and selling. That's one of the key things where if you buy a stock on, a crypto tokenized stock, is it going to, affect it, greatly because it doesn't have the underlying liquidity? And apparently Ondo is going to have the full liquidity. So if you were to market buy $1 million of Tesla stocks on chain, it shouldn't dump the market because Tesla is a very liquid stock. So hopefully you wouldn't you wouldn't pump the the tokenized version of it. And so they're saying that is apparently the situation. We'll have to see what happens. But also institutional grade investor protections. So all assets underlying Ondo Global Markets will be held in entities designed to maximize bankruptcy remoteness, and investors will benefit from security interests in such assets. So kind of like in stocks, if a company goes bankrupt or whatever happens, different stocks, there are investor protections. And so Ondo will supposedly bring that over to these crypto tokenized versions as well. Now, Ondo to me is actually at this pretty good area here. This is kind of what we wanted to see. We want to see it come down here. And so now we have this level here where we could put our stops underneath and target back to the highs. If Bitcoin is going to break back above, and I kind of wait for Bitcoin to see what I would do with this. I wouldn't enter this just yet, but this does look pretty good where we could at least go to the next level here towards $1.17, especially with Ondo Global Markets launching next week. Ondo looks like it is holding up this support pretty well. I don't want to see it drop below here because if we drop below here, it's going back down. So I'd have a pretty tight stop below this 86 cent level. But I think this isn't a terrible area to get interested in Ondo, at least to this next level of resistance around $1.17. And that's exactly what I want to see for Ondo. So we'll have to wait on this. I think, there's going to be, movement at New York Open today for Bitcoin, whether it gets rejected or breaks back above, we'll have to see. And then I'd play the altcoins in tandem with whatever Bitcoin's doing as well. All right, let's dive into something big happening in the DeFi space. Meet the DeFi app. This project is aiming to make decentralized finance as simple as using your favorite mobile banking app. And honestly, they're doing a pretty good job at it. So what's the big deal? DeFi app is bringing one-click crypto swaps, no gas fees, no bridges, and no need to manage multiple wallets. Just one tap and your trade is done. It's literally eliminating all the messy steps that scare off new users and is fully decentralized, so you keep full custody of your assets, and that means no reliance on centralized exchanges. Now here's what makes it even cooler. Biometric security. No more writing down seed phrases or remembering long passwords. Just your fingerprint or face scan. So they basically replaced the most annoying part of DeFi with something we're already used to in our daily apps. But that's not all. They've launched their mobile app in early access on iOS, with Android coming soon. So yes, DeFi app is officially moving into your pocket, making DeFi literally accessible to everyone. And they're not stopping there. Next is something called Home Finance, which will let you earn yield in a super simple way. Think one-tap deposits for ETH, stables, and even Bitcoin strategies. And their traction so far is massive. Over $11 billion processed in closed beta with 350,000 users and growing daily. And their token Home is also heating up. The token is up around 14% in the last month, which is a solid signal that the community is excited. Plus, they've got some serious names backing them: Mechanism Capital, Selene Capital, Pentoshi, even Layer Zero's founders and Balaji are involved. So if you've ever been frustrated with gas fees, bridges, or complicated wallets, keep an eye out for this one. DeFi app might just be the centralized exchange killer we've all been waiting for. Check it out, link down below. And then for another coin tied to Trump, which is going live next week, we have Trump's new coin launch, World Liberty Financial, or WLFI, goes live on September 1st. I've already bought a 7-figure position. Here's what World Liberty Finance is and why it matters in my price prediction. World Liberty Finance is Trump's official coin. Eric, Donald Trump Jr., and Barron Trump are co-founders. Trump himself was listed before taking office. It's tied to USD1, a regulated stablecoin backed by US Treasuries, and it's not a meme, but a political and financial tool. World Liberty Finance launches on September 1st, trading live on all major exchanges, including Binance. Futures are already active. The pre-sale unlock is 20% liquid and 80% vested. For most traders, September 1st is the first chance to get exposure. Now, my price prediction is $1 World Liberty Finance, or $100 billion fully diluted value. For context, Trump's meme coin, no utility, barely promoted, peaked at $73 billion fully diluted value, and World Liberty Finance is official, tied to treasuries, and with Trump now in office. credibility plus utility is a higher ceiling. Even institutions are buying in. DWF Labs has 25 million at 10 cents. Agua One Fund $100 million at 12 cents. And Alt 5 Sigma, Nasdaq listed, $1.5 billion at 20 cents. The current price, 25 cents. So you're only 25% above NASDAQ Treasury deals. This is one of the biggest token events of the cycle. Trump's official coin, institutional backing, stable coin angle tied to treasuries. Worldly Refinance isn't just a narrative, it's political, financial, and highly speculative at the same time. I'm positioned, are you? And then we have Quinton saying the Trump meme coin launched at a 20% circulating supply. Its market cap was nearly $15 billion at its peak on launch day. Fully diluted, it was nearly $75 billion. President Trump, his actual project, Worldly Refinance, and one of the Trump family can and will push, will launch, given current prices at 25 cents on futures, at a $1.25 billion market cap, or 25 billion fully diluted. It's laughable. Then we have Elijah saying Worldly Refinance isn't just another DeFi protocol. They're coming up with their own exchange, the Worldly Refinance app, along with lending and borrowing. In the future, Worldly Financial could become an everything app, and Worldly Refinance will power it. And then last, we have Michael House saying my presumed Worldly Refinance listing order, HTX with Justin Sun ties, because Justin Sun is very tied in right now, and then Binance through indirect investors, LBank and Mexi already pre-markets, OKX, Gate.io, Coinbase, and many more. I expect a couple weeks of pre-sale volatility, then several months of extreme pumpage. So I think we still will have a bunch of volatility. So you can actually see it's on pre-market futures right now. So you can actually go and look at the token here. This is kind of insane. You have to go to lower time frames. So it spiked up on pre-market futures. This is on Binance to around 55 cents. We're currently sitting around 20-ish, 6 cents. But we bottomed out around 20 cents back to the, the low here below at pre-market. And so it's very hard to say what will happen with this because it is pre-market futures, so the spot isn't even out yet. Will it also dump on open on September 1st? Very hard to say. So this isn't one that I can really give any TA on. It's more so, do you believe in the fundamentals of this going long term, like Virtual Bacon does, and seeing this at $100 billion fully diluted value? So, I think there is a possibility this could go very high. You can only get the futures right now, but in September 1st, I do think we will have, which is in 4 or 5 days from now, I do think we will see a lot of volatility. So I think any kind of accumulation you can get around these price targets is probably pretty good. If we do somehow come back down here, if we dump down here, anything around here is probably a pretty good area to accumulate it if you did want to accumulate it. But again, we have to see how hard it dumps on September 1st or pumps before then. So this is a very hard one to do any TA on right now. We're kind of at this level of resistance right here. So we'll have to see. Not too much I can say on this right now. It's more a fundamental play if you believe in it. And then in other big token news, we have Crypto.com saying breaking news. Today is a historic day for CRO. Trump Media Group CRO Strategy has announced $6.4 billion in funds to build America's Kronos treasury. At closing, Trump's Media Group CRO Strategy is expected to be the world's largest holder of CRO. So we have a huge influx of buying for CRO now. And we have 21 million saying breaking Donald Trump's company partners with Crypto.com. The key points of the deal: the CRO integration on Truth Social and Truth Plus, CRO powered rewards and wallet system, Trump Media to purchase $105 million in CRO, or 2% of the supply, Crypto.com to invest $50 million in TMTG stock, and a new SPAC to launch a dedicated CRO strategy. So I believe that's where a lot of the other money is going to be going. But the fact that they purchased $105 million in CRO, or 2% of the supply, is massive. And you can see here, we actually have to go out to the weekly to see the price of CRO. And so you can see we are coming into resistance around 23-ish cents, 24 cents. But this was the news yesterday. We had a, what is this? We had a 54% candle on that news. And we are just hovering here at resistance. We haven't fully rejected, which is nice. And so that makes me believe we will probably do a tight consolidation somewhere around here. So somewhere between, 20 cents and where we currently are, around 23.5 cents. We might just do a bit of accumulation before we pump up again. If we can somehow get some kind of daily candle close above this level, something like that, it's probably going to this next level pretty quickly because there's a lot of space here. This is a weekly chart too. So there's a lot of space towards this next level around 37.5 cents, which is about a 58% gain still to be had, afterwards. So anything around here, I mean, you can play it for a consolidation. If we consolidate it for a couple days, you can then take a position there and then put your stops below whatever that low is, which is another position, or you can just wait for it to come back above here. But I have a feeling if this is super bullish, it might do the whole bull market kind of thing where it consolidates like this, and then it just blasts through again. So that's another possibility to watch for as well. It might not do this very nice, beautiful retest, in which case you'd probably have to do something like this where you enter like that and put your stops below there and then target that high, something like that. So those are two I'm watching out for. CRO, I think, is going to be very good. I think this will be kind of forgotten quickly, But then I think, once it starts pumping again, people are going to get interested in this. So this is what I'm going to keep on my watch list and watch over the next couple of days or so, especially going into the weekend. If the trading volume slows down, I think it could have a slowdown and then a pump again soon afterwards. So CRO is one to watch for sure. And then moving on, Hyperliquid has just hit new all-time highs, and Hyperliquid also recorded $303 billion in trading volume in July, surpassing US brokerage giant Robinhood, which is actually kind of crazy because the amount of retail and just people on Robinhood is insane. And the fact that trading volume on Hyperliquid has surpassed it is massive. Hyperliquid's total trading volume surpassed Robinhood in May and June. So you can see here, Robinhood in green, 192 billion, 256 billion in May. And then we have 231 billion in June here and 193 billion on Robinhood in June. So massive, massive numbers for Hyperliquid. Then we have former Barclays CEO Bob Diamond says he was absolutely gobsmacked, which is a word you don't hear too often anymore, that Hyperliquid doesn't have more attention. So he said this.
Over the last 2 years, we've spent a lot of time looking at the exchanges and coins. We've had many opportunities, and the first one that we've really responded to was Hyperliquid and Hype. We think it's an extraordinary opportunity. It's not surprising to me at all that David and I need to get on podcasts like this and talk about it, because if you look at the top 10 coins, the only one that has not been around for about a decade is Hype. And so unsurprisingly, it's less known, but both David and I spent a lot of time looking into not just the coin, but the exchange, the advantages it has. And it is like we came away absolutely gobsmacked that there was so little attention paid to this space. We really did. We went from a neutral observer to very, very excited quickly.
Now, Hyperliquid continues to be one of the strongest coins here. One thing I don't like is that it kind of swept and closed back underneath here, but we still have a lot of time, the daily close. So the fact that we swept these previous all-time highs around $49.88, we swept there and we've closed back below, but we still have 11 and a half hours before this kind of closes. So ideally, I'd like to see it back above here to show actual strength. Otherwise, it looks like it just took out these stops and it wants to go lower. So we're going to have to see how that closes, but it's possible we come back down here, maybe towards $45, $46, and we try again afterwards, because we had these all these stops taken above this level here. So that's something I'm going to look for, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. I think we could still close above $50 on the day today, especially if Bitcoin wants to recover. But if Bitcoin wants to reject from this level that we're at currently around 112,000, if it wants to reject and continue lower, then I think it is possible that this was just a sweep of the highs before we go lower on Hyperliquid and maybe, consolidate back down here towards the more mid 40s again. It's one of the stronger coins in the market right now, and it just has consistent uptrends. So I do like Hyperliquid. And then lastly for today, we have NeoX takes major leap in security with Hacken's audit of ZK-DKG. So NeoX is taking a major leap towards building a secure and fair blockchain. NeoX has reached an important achievement with Hacken, having audited zero-knowledge DKG with the support of the Anti-MEV solution. The audit clears the way for NeoX to roll out its Anti-MEV system, protecting users from maximal extractable value, or those MEV bots that make you have really bad slippage and bad transactions. So one reason transactions in DeFi sometimes cost more than we expect is MEV. Block producers may reorder or manipulate transactions in a block to enable them to gain a profit. Such a scheme annually costs users billions of dollars, and NeoX intends to solve this by introducing a new feature known as enveloped transactions. This keeps transaction information obscure on block producers until confirmed. In this manner, they cannot cheat the system. So what's next for NeoX? With the audit complete, NeoX is gearing up to bring anti-MEV protection to life. The rollout will start on testnet and then go live on mainnet. Adding to this, Neo has released the ZK Trust Relay, which is the multi-party computation or MPC initiative that invites developers to test and secure the system. Participants will even get the gas token as a reward for the contribution. It says NeoX and their anti-MEV protocol, and that is the video for today, guys. If we can break back above here, kind of like this, this down here back in June, if we can break back above here, that will be bullish and we'll kind of reclaim this level, hopefully going back towards at very minimum the mid 116s, somewhere around there. But if we do just reject from here today, it's not looking the best. We're probably heading back down towards the mid hundreds, towards $600, $5,000. So I would like to see us do more of this today and have a strong New York Open and continue higher. But that is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.